Hello, Eagle fans. Today's video is a very important update about the status of the old nest since the very sad loss of our eaglets in June. Many of you have been asking questions about what could be done to that nest, and I will be answering questions and explaining those issues about what could be done and about what was done over the summer. First, I'd like to reference Terry's post from Facebook. She did an excellent job of describing everything that she and the Friends of the Reading Eagles did over the summer, including coordinating with governmental agencies and actually doing the work on site. Her post is on Facebook. It was written on October 12th and posted, I think, on October 13th. I will get you a link in my description. Otherwise, go read that. I could not do a better job than she did with her post. This video will give you a graphical representation of that article or post. So you remember that after the loss of the two eaglets in mid June, the adults, Liberty and Guardian, took off out of the territory as they normally do. And so from late June till mid to late October, they were out of the territory. The necropsy on the eaglet Luna is still not complete yet, but there is strong suspicion that both eaglets, Luna and Sol, died as a result of dehydration and probably heat exhaustion. The nest tree is dead, so there's no shade, and the ultraviolet radiation of the sun increases the temperature in the nest and of the eaglets. So we've all been concerned about what can be done to provide shade or a new nest, anything to help these eaglets along for when it becomes hot. So this cartoon-like graphic shows the two trees, the nest tree, which is dead, died about 2 years ago or so, and the camera tree to the left there, because the nest tree was dead, did not have any spots to put the camera, and it was unsafe to climb. The camera was put in the tree next door. This image is courtesy of our good friend Mike, a member of the Friends of the Reading Eagles ground crew. And thank you, Mike, for allowing me to use this image. To give you a better idea of what the territory actually looks like, here is the nest tree region, and you'll see the red arrow is pointing to the nest tree and the actually pointing to where the nest is. And the blue arrow is about where the camera tree is, but is probably in the tree behind the one you're seeing. Note that this picture was taken in 2021 fall, so 3 years ago, and you'll see that the nest tree indicated by the red arrow is actually alive and has leaves that provided shade in that following spring. It's no longer bearing leaves. Guardian and Liberty left the territory in late June after the death of the two eaglets, and they remained out of the territory until mid to late October. Terry worked hard all summer with these governmental agencies over what could be done, telling them what we believe happened to the eaglets. And those governmental agencies, like Fish and Wildlife, in turn worked back with Terry as far as giving permission for as much as could be done. And we'll be going over that shortly. So the nest tree is dead. Some of the branches are cracked, which makes it unsafe to climb. In the summer, it's certified blazing hot, so hot that it has two T's. We know the temperatures rose to 107 twice in June when the eaglets were there. And later that month, they actually set an all time high of 120 degrees at the Reading airport. So many of you have been asking great questions about what can be done about the nest. For instance, can we add shade over the top of the nest to help the eaglets out and get them out of the sun? Can we strengthen the tree to make it safer for the eagles? Uh, if we can't make it safe, can we cut the tree down or can we take the nest down to help them urge to move to another nest? And finally, can we add some sort of artificial nest? Can we build it somewhere in the existing nest tree or close by to help them seed and move to a new nest? To properly answer those questions and others, we have to look at the existing laws and regulations and guidelines from Fish and Wildlife and others. One of the main laws is the United States Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act, you see here. Then there's this circular from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife regarding guidelines for using cameras at bald eagle nests. And then there are various permits that are required in order to work around uh, bald eagles, their nests, and nesting territories. And one of the main types of permits from Fish and Wildlife is called a take permit, which allows a person to do approved, uh, for instance, habitat conservation activities that have any chance of impacting the eagles at all. So here's the grand summary graphic, which shows us what we considered to do, what we could do, which is in the green, what we could not do, which is in the red. And you'll see some blue text there, which is for Native Americans have certain rights and waivers in these cases with bald eagles, but none of those rights or waivers were uh, enacted this summer. The center column in black there shows the activities that we were considering to do, and there are three categories, main categories under the law: Native Americans, which we just discussed, and safety. Let's actually start at the bottom. Safety. It ended up affecting so much of what we could or couldn't do. Um, so climbing the nest tree on the right there, it's dead. Many of the branches are cracked, so it was just unsafe to climb to do anything. The camera tree, the live tree on the left, it is um, live. It's in good shape, and we were able to climb that as long as it was off season with the eagles out of the territory and with a consultation from Fish and Wildlife. Let's look at those activities considering the law, those issues that I brought up under the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act and the other laws and permits. Uh, let's start with the activities and the requirements in the nest tree. That's to the right of the center column. Could we add a camera? Yes, we've done so before, but again, it was just not safe to climb. The Can we modify the nest? We thought about adding some sort of shade cover over the nest strengthening some of the branches that are cracked. Um, but in the end, with consultation with Fish and Wildlife, we're not allowed to modify anything in the nest tree at all, um, except for adding a camera, which again was not safe. So we could not add a shade structure. We couldn't strengthen the tree or any other modification of the nest, or to remove the nest, or to modify the tree or remove the tree. All of those would have required what is called a take permit, which is essentially the Fish and Wildlife reviewing what you're going to do and either denying it or approving it. But that takes many months more than we had over the summer, so that just didn't get approved. Uh, in the same vein, we thought about adding an artificial nest within the nest tree, but that would have required a take permit as well. So let's look at the requirements in the cam tree, the live tree on the left. So could we add a camera? Absolutely. In the off season and with Fish and Wildlife consultation, we can and did do that. Brand new camera up there with audio. Thank you, friends of the Reading Eagles, and all the donors and followers and supporters. So thank you to all. Um, Modify the tree. Yes, for things that were approved, for instance, see artificial nest. So we considered adding an artificial nest in that other tree, and you'll see the location of that artificial nest directly below the camera. And we considered many options, from just adding sticks to building a full-blown nest, and everything in between. And I will review what actually happened when I'm done with this graphic. The Yes, we could climb the tree, so all of that was considered, and the adding the camera and an artificial nest, a small one, was completed. Let's take a look at those artificial nests. Fish and Wildlife did approve the addition of an artificial nest as long as it was not in that dead nest tree. So we thought, hey, uh, David Hancock and Hancock Wildlife Foundation, they've been adding artificial nests around Canada and the United States, and let's enlist their help. So Terry was speaking with David Hancock, and we were all set to add that complete nest project, like you see on the left there, and that's David Hancock on the left in the light blue shirt. Um, we were set to have David Hancock come down and supervise the installation of a complete artificial nest like the one you're seeing. It's huge. Uh, but unfortunately, David fell ill at the time when they were going to install that nest. So that was put off. So, with only a few days remaining to figure out what else to do, um, other than that complete nest project, the Friends of the Reading Eagles, Terry and their tree climber, and the rest of the fantastic installation crew, including Terry's wonderful husband, Dave, went out there and they did what I show on the right as the starter nest project. It's basically the installing the sticks as a seed or a starter nest up in the um, intersection of some branches. And they did that directly below the camera. So if the eagles take the bait and start building that nest in the new tree in the seed location, we will be able to see them build. And it would be amazing if they actually built and used that nest this year. That is our hope. We're all very pleased with the starter nest, and we feel that it has the least risk of attracting owls. I don't have any photos just yet of that artificial nest from ground level or when it was installed, but I expect to be getting some soon, and I will do another video on that as soon as I have the images. So, this is the view of the starter nest looking straight down from the camera. So, if you see the angle, this angle, during the live broadcast. They're just checking to see if the eagles are building the nest. And if we're lucky, we'll actually get to see the eagles actively working on it. So if you think this was a lot to listen to, just imagine what it took to do the legwork and the actual physical work to make this all happen for all of us. So my deep appreciation to Terry of the Friends of the Reading Eagles, the entire installation team, and everybody else. Drop me a comment with any questions that you have, and I'll do my best to answer them. Until next time, folks, be safe and be well.